never the people who go to war. People don't want war. Nobody wants to send their sons and now daughters to be, into war. We don't want that. Governments go to war. Hi there. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm out here in the woods. This is a different part of my local woodlands. It's actually not that local. I had to drive here, but it's wonderful. It's beautiful out here. I'm having a cup of coffee, and as usual, nothing new about that. And I'm going to try to talk about something that has been on my mind for quite some time. I'll pour the water while I'm trying to find the right words. It's a bit delicate. The Shadow General Soleimani, I believe his name was, he was killed in an airstrike on Baghdad airport, well, at least one of the airports near Baghdad. I don't know the details, so forgive me. This is people are saying, well, this is World War III, and they are. Oops, hold on. Yeah, I think we're good. The moss is starting to burn now. Well, we'll be okay. We'll be okay concerning the World War III thing as well. This is not World War III. Now, this has been compared to the murder of Prince Franz Ferdinand at the 28th of June 1914. The gunshot in Sarajevo, that is said to have triggered World War I. Hold on. I have some coffee in a container that came with my beard oil, actually. Very practical. Okay, so I would say that such a comparison is a bit silly. There are so many different factors and the world looks quite different now. If you look at Iran, it's a totalitarian hellhole, which is, it's a tragedy because I am being told, I know some people who fled from Persians who fled from Iran, and they tell me it's a beautiful country, and all the Iranians that I have met have been warm, friendly, very nice people, but they fled. They had to. Their families, they fled to the West. Priesthood there and all that. It's horrible. It's really horrible, and it's a good example of a almighty government holding their people hostage. Now contrast this to a democracy like the USA. I know the current President Trump, has been getting a lot of criticism. I won't get into that debate, but hey, you can choose another one, In Iran, they're pretty much stuck with what they have now. And I would like to say this. There is a lot of criticism from Europe, from my country, Norway, towards both Americans in general and especially President Trump, which I think neither the Americans nor President Trump deserves. And I will give you one example. Here in Norway, we tend to ridicule the Americans' love of their guns. But we do not understand what that is really about. Now, the Second Amendment is it's not about guns. It's about keeping the government in check. Because if history has taught us anything at all, it is this: a government that is not being held accountable to its people will become tyrannical. We need to be able to vote out the people in power. We need to be able to criticize whoever we want. We need to be able to speak our minds. Now, the USA is not perfect, and neither is Norway, where I come from. But at least we live in democracies. I don't own a gun. I don't know that much about guns, and I can see both sides of that debate there. Anything that will keep the government in check, anything that will keep the government, a little bit fearful for its people, is good. Skål. And it's never the people who go to war. People don't want war. Nobody wants to send their sons and now daughters to be into war. We don't want that. Governments go to war. I'm going to pack up my gear now, and but I want to show you something. It's on the way back. This is Hun Stone Circle Field in southeastern Norway. And people would come here all through the Viking Age and before that to worship, to remember their ancestors, and to find solutions to challenges and settle conflicts. They would vote, they would try to find peaceful solutions. 1,000 years ago, we were getting, towards the end of the Viking Age. The local communities in Norway saw that the power structure was being threatened. It was changing. The local communities would soon lose a lot of their power, and the power would be centralized under the state. The state would become a lot more powerful, and that probably worried people back then. I think they gathered here and they talked about that, and they were concerned because they saw that, and they understood back then, they understood that a state that becomes too powerful will also become tyrannical. The people we vote for, the people in power, the prime minister, the president, the governments, they need to remember that they are the servants of the people. It's not the other way around. And it needs to be said. It needs to be said. They need to remember that. I fear that we are moving towards more totalitarian states. We are moving towards taking freedoms away from people. Okay. There are some people coming up here now. Lots of people are walking, hiking across this ancient site. So I'll probably, I'll get back home now. People are coming up this way now. It's like this, you know, when you have a camera, it kind of attracts people a lot, you know. Yeah, okay. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.